Hello guys, welcome to another video of Mass Effect Andromeda with me, Kineticist. Today I'm playing as the human Kineticist. I finally got it after a long time. I got this person that you see right now. I'm playing as a... My god, it's a fun character to play with. Oh jeez. It's a fun character to play with. No matter what kind of difficulty you're on, no matter what enemy you're facing. If there's an unarmed enemy, the place is gonna be your bitch. It's how it goes. Because you'll throw them, you'll spear them, and if they're lucky, they won't have to suffer. They won't have to suffer you torturing them by just holding them in position helplessly. Ew, that's disgusting. This character also has some kind of biotic amplification. Oh, yes. As you can see, this is insane. This is insane for using biotic powers. The shield also regenerates in this mode. And as you can see, powers don't have a cooldown as they run completely on shield. And if you stay in cover long enough, you can get your shield to regenerate, keeping this mode on as long as you technically need it. Where's the last enemy? Somewhere down there. Mine!
Oh, no!
Mine.
I tried everything.
This is one of the characters that can physically one-hit enemies by throwing them off the map, and can bombard enemies with pure biotic energy through her biotic amplification. Like I said before, if you can keep your shields up, then you're basically unstoppable with the amount of powers you can unleash. Those things are a problem. Those things are a problem. No, don't get rid of my fucking ability.
Oh, you still have it up?
Yeah.
What?
If you hide long enough, you can get it to restore. Oh! Oh! This observer just annihilated my shield. It's a really overpowered character. And the way I plan on speccing it, it might even get more overpowered. Because as this class goes... Oh! I don't know what happened to it, it just died. Because as this power goes, you can eventually custom your abilities to use your shield instead of your initial just having a countdown for it, which is really useful in itself. But considering this character's ability is some kind of amplification, which eliminates the cooldown, uses shield, and this skill tree also has the ability to reduce shield cost further. This character can lead to being some really overpowered thing. Wow.
It touched your finger, dude.
Also, I'm gonna let my shield go down. Not the best idea. And I'm gonna hold triangle, my shield refills. So not only does this character have the ability to restore their own shield when they have this amplification ready, they have the ability to use an infinite amount of power at their disposal so long as they have their shield up. Oh man, these observers and their beams.
Yeah, they showed it. Oh, there's mine again.
Just 3 hostiles remaining.
Don't forget that with this character, it has the ability to restore shield on biotic kill by 10% and restore your shield by 20% with every melee hit. So if you're going up close and personal and just lancing everything or pulling and biotic comboing everything, with this biotic punch, restore 20% and biotic kill with these abilities, you can restore your shield that much quicker instead of having to hide and cover.
Get to the extraction site.
Also, if you combine this character with one that, say, has barricade or something that restores shield as soon as you go behind it, then this can be even more useful and overpowered in that sense. Little tactics, I think, of the way I'm going to use this character. I'd like Grow Christian to throw a singularity on there, but he can't hear me right now. Trying to dodge so I can let my shield heal. Lance is actually disgustingly overpowered, you know.
Yeah. I have it on the sorry Julia.
Oh, my shield's gone. Thank you, Observer, once again.
I'm just standing mine here.
With this character, you can literally just pick up enemies and throw them.
Oh, what was that?
You don't need to look where you're throwing them. Well, you do need to look where you're throwing them, but you can literally throw, hold, pull, and as you're pulling the enemy towards you, you can just aim away and flick them into the distance. There should be a character flying overhead any time now. Oh, he's frozen. Which is another glitchy thing of this game. Which is that some characters they just refuse to disappear off the map. You kill them, they just stand there motionless as an empty body, something that they just stay there. Which is really annoying because at first I didn't know if they were still like a physical object that you could clash into, because some would just stop in front of doors and then that'll be it. But I can actually realise you could go through them. I mean, when you have this giant Hydra standing in front of a doorway when you're doing an upload mission on gold, and then suddenly 3 berserkers charge through it. It's not nice. But anyway, now for the long discussion. You know what time it is? It says no cringe with Katashi. I'm gonna quickly upgrade Biotic Ascension, and now time to talk about powers. Pull. A standard power on its own. It's a primer, and it lifts unshielded, unarmored enemies helplessly in the air. If you hold the button down, it drags the target and an object towards you. If you combine it with throw, you can hurl the target away into the distance of the map so that it kills it, or even into other enemies, dealing damage insanely to them as the character you throw hits the wall, taking damage that way, and then taking more when it hits the other opposing enemy. So rank 1 to 3 are the same, duration upgrade and speed recharge upgrade. Rank 4, duration and radius. I want to pick up more enemies. I want to pick up as many enemies as I can and chuck them into the distance. That's literally this is this class. So I'm going to go for radius for rank 4. I won't particularly mind too much about duration because I'm going to be picking them up, flicking them away, picking them up, flicking them away. If I'm going to use pull to just levitate them, then I'm going to be lancing them immediately. I won't need to wait. So rank 4 I'll go radius. Rank 5 I'll probably go crushing grip. Hopefully it'll take effect with you holding enemies in the air, but I'll go crushing grip so you can get some damage per second. If I even need to go that far, because number 6... Oh! Even better! Even better tactics in the way. The making... So rank 5 I'll go crushing grip. Now rank 6 is where it gets interesting with pull. You can either choose anti-shields, which does a bonus damage of 600 to a shield. So it drains an enemy's shield on hit, but targets whose shields endure still cannot be lifted or held. So that means if you defeat an enemy's shield, as you pull them, they get lifted and you can do whatever you want to them. However, if they maintain it, then they're just like, oh, haha, you tried, GG, and they shoot you. But in this instance, you can do an initial damage bonus of 600 towards a shielded enemy, or you can do biotic drain. You can restore your own shields while pull is maintained to hold an enemy at 10% per second. That means to restore all your shields you need to be holding an enemy on for 10 seconds. But if you're running around and you're holding this enemy, or even just like at the end of a wave for the lols, or you've got your biotic ascension on and you just want something to sap in that initial energy boost for your shield, this will probably be very good, especially if you're going to be using shield on your biotic ascension. You can gain it back while holding on to this while holding on to your enemies. So say you've just used lance and you've used pull. At that moment, you're holding pull, so you've already, at the moment you're holding the button down, you've already restored enough energy to use pull again. That's already restored, and by the time the character probably gets to you, in terms of the pull, you've probably restored enough energy to reuse your lance. That's how quickly this will restore your shield, which is good in a pinch scenario. The only liability is you have to be standing to use it. You can't be knelt behind a barricade or an environment in order to hide away and still regain shield that way. It won't work like that, you have to be standing. But this is an insanely good thing for this character because of its abilities. So for me, 1 to 3 be standard, rank 4, pick up more enemies. And if rank 6 is per enemy, if you pick up 2, that's 20% per second. That's 5 seconds to restore all your shield, or just 2 seconds to restore a lot of your abilities you can use. It provides more survivability in general, not only for biotic ascension, but yeah, I'd probably end up doing that. So 1, 2, 3 is standard, rank 4 radius, rank 5 crushing grip, rank 6 biotic drain. Throw. Hurls a gravity field projectile to throw unshielded and unarmored targets away. It also detonates any combo primers, for example, cryo combo, fire combo, biotic combo, etc. If they're highlighted, frozen, or on fire, use throw and you can detonate the combo. Also, if you combine this with pull, you can hurl targets into the distance, which is what this character is insanely good for. Insanely good for. So, for me, with this character and throw, I'll go 1 to 3 as standard. Rank 4. Huh. I assume once you have enemies pulled to you, you just need to use throw once. So I'm not going to rely on throw to hit a wide amount of enemies. So for me, I'm going to go damage and force. So say for some reason I miss throwing them out the map, they're going to take more damage from the throw themselves and from the collision on the environment, etc. So I'm going to go rank 4 damage and force. Rank 5, 400% duration. Not too sure what that's all about, actually. Why does throw need duration? I actually have no idea. Is that how far it can go? I think that's how far the duration is of it flying through the air. So like an enemy can be thrown for 4 seconds or something, and then you plus it by 400%, so they're constantly flying into the distance for like 12 seconds or something mad. Maybe that's that. But for me, I'll see what duration actually has for offer. If not, I'll end up doing recharge speed so I can use it more often. So for rank 5, I'll probably for now go duration, but I might respec the character later to try out the recharge speed, etc., and change some other things on other powers. Rank 6, I will go double throw. Why not? If I'm using the power by itself, why not launch 2 projectiles and seek 2 different targets? Bodies flying around everywhere. You don't want unarmored enemies up on their feet, because more or less it's the unarmored enemies, unshielded enemies that end up dealing more damage to you. If you actually take a look at the enemies that deal the most damage, it's not these armored ones, it's not the hydras, it's not the destroyers, and it's not the fiends or the ascendants, it's actually all the runts. Because they're the ones you naturally go for, they're the ones you just happen to be up and facing at the time, and every armoured enemy, you end up kind of taking a step back. So I think in reality, having a double throw won't be too bad. It won't be too bad at all. So for rank 6 I'll go double throw. Maybe if I respec this character I'll go swift detonation, so I do more combo damage, and it also bolsters the recharge speed by 25% even more. So for me, 1 to 3 is standard, rank 4 damage and force, rank 5 duration, rank 6 double throw, so technically all the top would be my spec upgrades. For throw, Lance. It's a small area of effect, but it's this spear of energy. It inflicts damage against weak points, so this is something you can physically aim at an enemy. You don't have to rely on it to curve round like throw does, incinerate does, etc. Those single-use powers. Lance, actually, you aim it at a character, and if you get it at a weak point, like it says, it does bonus damage. It also is a detonator, so if you have an enemy pulled, singularity out, throw a lance, use a throw, etc., lance will detonate the Primus. So rank 1 to 3 is standard. Rank 4 damage and force or radius. The impact radius is 1 meter, so if you're basically doubling the radius on rank 4, it would be a 2 meter radius. I don't know how big that is, in all honesty. I don't know if it will be entirely worth it. We'll see going down the line. We'll see going down the line. Huh. Okay, so rank 4. You know what? I'll go radius. Just to see how big this area of effect actually is with this power. Because initially it's really small, like it's probably anti-personnel. Like it's probably the size of a person. So it's not that great, but on the preview on the left hand side it looks massive. So I'm going to try radius for this build so far. And if it doesn't do anything much, if it's not that big, I'll switch it back to damage and force. Rank 5, Focus Blast or Anti-Shield. Focused Blast is basically bonus damage against weak points. Like I said, you can aim it at an enemy. If you aim at their head, it will go to their head. It won't default shift to the middle of their body or wherever it hits. Like it curves around and then hits their arm. It's not like that. If you aim at their arm, it hits their arm. If you aim at the leg, it hits the leg, etc. That's how this power works. And if you go for Focus Blast, you get a 25% bonus to their weak spot. If you don't want that, Anti-Shield plus 25% damage versus shields. For me, I'm going to go damage versus shields because I don't really want to worry about which character I'm throwing this at. I kind of want it to do damage. I want it to do a lot of damage, and I want it to take out a lot of people. In the long run, this will be a power just spammed with Biotic Ascension. Rank 6. Knockdown. Enemies within 1.5 meters of the blast are knocked to the ground. Of course, normal-sized enemies, unarmored and unshielded. Which is great. Anyone around in the immediate area of the person getting lanced is on the floor. Who doesn't want that? Or you can have it cost 45% of your shield. 45%. Lance has no recharge time but consumes shield when used. Since we have the Biotic Ascension, I'm not going to be using this power. Maybe later on, if I see better builds, better specs come out of this character, if I plan better for this character, I may go shield powered and kind of route towards restoring as much shield as possible, depending on the characters you also play with as well is a big factor in this. But for now, I'm going to go knockdown. Get to knock down enemies to the floor that are near this person you attack, as well as dealing more damage and more force. So rank 1 and 3 are the same. Rank 4, I will go with Radius this time round. Rank 5, I'll go with Anti-Shield. And rank 6, I'll go Knockdown. Biotic Ascension. One of the unique abilities presented with this class. Accumulate charges, kind of like Rage. Think of it as Krogan Rage. You accumulate charges by killing enemies. In this case, it's 6 as just starting off. You hold the melee button down to activate Biotic Ascension once you've killed 6 enemies. Pardon me. While ascended, all powers will consume shields, but will have no recharge time, and Ascension ends when shields drop. So, like I was saying during the mission, if you stay behind cover long enough for your shields to regenerate, you can essentially have this power on as long as you want. It's only when you get bombarded by powers that take down your shield really quick, they end up losing this ability, and if you don't pay attention to how much powers you're spamming out. So as you can see on the right hand side, you get 100 damage resistance while ascended. This means while you've held that triangle button down, you've floated in the air for a bit and you've come back down, you're receiving half damage from all the enemies firing at you. Instant half damage. And this will probably stack with other enemies, with other allies' team support for damage resistance, i.e. Krogan, when it's in Rage, extra 20 damage resistance. Other abilities, maybe if you have more than one Krogan out in the field at the same time, you have another 3 out, you have another 60, so you're getting some serious damage resistance. You're going to take a quarter of the damage enemies are trying to deal out to you, to mitigate almost all the damage they deal, which is amazing. Rank 2, you upgrade damage and force. Rank 3, you take away 1 charge to ascend, so instead of killing 6 enemies you kill 5. Rank 4, duration, 35% to all power effect durations. The only real power effect you have is pull with the floating ability. However, if you're taking in throws distance, it may include that as well. But for me, because I don't know that yet, I'm going to aim this toward power, so I've upped the power damage and power force. So rank 4, I'll go power. Rank 5, exposure or combo detonation. Affecting enemies with biotics causes them to take increased damage from all sources, giving them a defense debuff of 20% when a biotic effect is present on them. This ability isn't too great with this character, since Pull will only prime a target that is unshielded or unarmored. It will not prime an armored target. For that you need something like Singularity or Annihilation Field. Pull won't do this to a shielded or armored target, so exposure isn't that great for this character. Rank 5 combo detonation is something I will be going for, basically to cause as much havoc in a small controlled area as possible. However, this increases it by 30%, so combo radius will be massive. And if you have someone using Singularity and you throw a lance in there, you've got major havoc going around in that small area. And with your bonus combo damage to all combo damages, it's going to be mad. It's going to be mad for the enemies to try and recover. You'll be hitting a lot of them down before they can do anything, and basically clearing waves, and you'll be realizing how easy it is. So for me, rank 5 I got combo detonation. Rank 6, efficient ascension or devastating ascension. Rank 6 devastating ascension, you get 25% power damage while ascended and plus 25% power force while ascended. So I think prior to this, all these other power, damage, force, etc. bonuses, you don't have to be ascended. They are passive to your character just as it is. However, the end one is 25% plus damage and force while ascended. Think of it like a melee damage bonus on a Krogan when a rage is activated. This works in the same way. When you're ascended, you get plus 25% power damage, plus 25% power force. Or you can do efficient ascension. You can -1 charge to ascend, which means instead of killing 6, you now kill 4 enemies to get your biotic ascension ready to be cast, and you plus 30% power shield cost reduction while ascended. Now this is confusing me. Do they mean you minus 30% power shield cost reduction? I mean, surely you don't add the amount of shield it uses. If this is the case, and it actually powers end up using more energy, more of your shield, this is something I won't be going for. But at this moment in time, if this plus 30% power shield cost reduction is what I think it means, where it will actually reduce the amount of shield it uses, then I'll be going for this, because you can just use so many more powers. It already uses a small amount, like it uses a reasonable amount, not like just a giant 45% chunk of your shield gone with one hit, like Lance. But if this is the case, where it reduces the cost of your shield by 30% while ascended, then I'll be going for efficient ascension. If that's not the case, devastating ascension will be my main target. So this passive set, 1 to 3 standard, rank 4 power, rank 5 combo detonation, and rank 6 efficient ascension. It wouldn't really be efficient if you use more power than is needed, so I'm not too sure where it's going. And the last one, barrier. Rank 1 to 3 is standard. Rank 4, unyielding barrier, or rank 4, recuperative barrier. You can either boost your shield regeneration with 30%, so shield restores quicker, and as well as your delay reduction in terms of when it actually starts regenerating your shield, or you can do plus 30% max shields. For me, I'm going to give myself more shield as standard. Not just for ascension and just for the powers being used, but for just general more survivability in combat. Yeah, it'll come hella great for using powers when you're ascended, but I think for now it's just going to be mainly for survivability. So rank 4, unyielding barrier. Rank 5. Difficult choice here, max shields with an active biotic effect by 40%. So say you're holding pull on an enemy, you increase the maximum shield while at least one biotic effect is active. So you can throw pull at someone, have them float for whatever duration, restore 40% extra shield than you already have, and you can use that 40%, if you trigger it carefully, you can use that when pull wears off, you'll still have 100% of your shield still there. If that's the case and you have pull and then you use throw, and you're starting to restore your shield with pull active on you, and you're holding the bound button, you can restore enough energy to use throw without using your 100% shield that's already there. You can overstack your shield in order to use powers more effectively. If you don't want this and you're going to be more frontal, more head-on, you can use Barrier Drain, which restores your shield by 20% per successful melee attack, and it also increases your melee damage by 50%, so you pack more of a literal punch and you restore 20% of your shield per hit. 5 hits on an enemy, full shields, straight away. And you've probably killed maybe 3 people. But I think for me, I'm gonna try barrier drain first. I'm gonna try that first, and then I'll go to Biotic Link later. Rank 6, saving barrier or active barrier. You can partially restore shields after taking down an enemy with a biotic power, affects all allies within 6 meters. And on a biotic kill, you increase shields restored by 10% to all allies around you in 6 meters. It's pretty good. If you're biotic comboing everything, it counts as a biotic kill. That's 10% shield restored to you already. I don't know if the biotic amplifier counts as a biotic kill. If so, that's 30% shield restored, as well as 10% around to everyone else. If you're comboing everything, you're throwing enemies out of the ring, that's a biotic power, that's a kill using throw and pull. So you're restoring 10% there. There's a lot of potential to restore a lot of shield with this power active. This active barrier. If you don't want that, you can have rank 6 saving barrier, which restores your shield at low health to 100%, and the low health threshold is 25%. And this takes effect every 10 seconds. So this would be great for those pinch moments where you think you're going to die. Say you're running to extraction, you got 10 seconds left, you activate this power, well, it activates for you when you've reached that 25% threshold. Max shields, don't have to worry about it, you can get to cover easily. So for me, I'm going to firstly try out active barrier and see what that gets me. But my main, I think what I'll jump back to eventually will be saving barrier, because of those latter stages, this pinch of 100% restoration in shield. Don't forget that if you have Biotic Ascension active, no, you won't reach 25% health if you've got Biotic Ascension, because it will wear off. But if you have 100% shield, an enemy deals damage to you, the shield gets drained, you lose 25%, you lose your health up to 25%, this activates, your shield restores again to 100%, enemy depletes your shield again, you activate Biotic Ascension, 100% shield back up. So you basically have 300% shield at your disposal every 10 seconds. 300% shield. If you use it correctly, and if you plan correctly. So for me, rank 1 to 3 standard, rank 4 unyielding barrier, rank 5 barrier drain, and rank 6 active barrier. But later on, I'll probably end up trying Biotic Link and saving barrier. In terms of, oh yes, I want to save them. In terms of loadout, it's a rather light class. Cool. It's a rather light class. I've got Adaptive War Amp on because it increases Bardic powers and damage dealt by them by 50%, which is good. 15%. And you can carry a basic assault rifle and a pistol. If you wanted, you can do combative upgrades, which increases your damage dealt by assault rifles and pistols by 10%, just to provide that little bit more punch. If you don't want that, you want extra damage with your melee attacks, you're more front on, you can increase your shields by 10% and melee by 75% of Juggernaut shield. But for me, I'm pretty good with a Thokin X and a Scorpion X. And as you can see with Assault Barrel, oh, that's the sweeper. With Assault Barrel X and Assault Rifle stock, you do 100 damage, and you have no recoil. And 100 damage per bullet is amazing. My Scorpion does 747 damage with pistol barrel 10, and I've got an extra magazine 3 so I can have more ammunition in the clip before I need to reload. Decent things you can hold, decent adaptive war amp, and a decent character overall. Very fun to play with, throw loads of people at the map, activate biotic combos whenever you want. Anyone does any form of combo detonation, primer, you're there, you can activate it whenever you want. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this has helped you in some way, shape or form. If it has, leave a like and subscribe. Even if you've just watched it till the end, leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment in the section below if you want to see me do anything in particular. If you want to see me try out some weapons. I've practically got all of them. I'm missing 4 maybe. But if you want me to try specific weapons, you want me to talk about them, etc., which I'll end up doing in the future. But ooh, the Inferno. Ooh. But if you want me to talk about them, I'll do that. If you want me to do something specific, write it down in the comment section below. I'll get to that. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you for watching so much. This is the Human Kineticist. They finally spelt it right, by the way. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.